Hi, so in this video I wanted to talk about something that's an interesting topic, and I thought I might get some interesting thoughts on this. So the topic that I want to talk about in this video is it's the concept of an afterlife. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, there are some ideas that I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to try to get some thoughts on this concept of an afterlife. Now, in there is such a large um, order of possibilities, that of experiences, of people, and of of all the possibilities that a human being can experience. But um, this is such a large number, and um, it might not be that a person will um, how do I approach this this topic. Okay, so there are so many things in a person's life that might not be um, lot of potentials that might not be touched in a person's life. So could it be that there might be some type of a metaphysical concept of an afterlife, where all these possibilities can be, that a person can finally reach all these possibilities? Okay, another thought on this is, you know how in a person's life there might be, maybe there is this one person, or maybe there are a few specific people that a person's, the type of connections that can form between a person and this other people, it might not have, touched what it could have been. Like, there are so many things where a person might think, what could have been if it had been this way or that way, or there is always all of those possibilities that might be open. And so could it be that um, an afterlife, in some kind of a sense, um, opens up these possibilities in a way that, okay, whatever happened in a person's life, that was one way, in a way it was kind of, I don't know, like some kind of a game, I guess you could say. I'm not sure if that is exactly the word to use, but in a way that was sort of maybe the first attempt, and now the whole idea of possibilities is now open to you after a person's life. And um, yeah, where was I going to go with this? So there is all these possibilities, but it opens up such a huge range of possibilities, and this is just one topic, that one type of concept that is covered in the idea of an afterlife. Apart from this, there's a whole another spectrum of experience that a person might be able to experience um, in this state of in this afterlife state, that a person now is no longer limited by the same senses that a person was limited to while he or she was in this life. So in a way that, for example, the visual light spectrum, now when we see that, that range within the electromagnetic spectrum. But could it be that in this metaphysical type of existence that might exist out of after this life? Could it be that in the, you could say, in the logic of that existence, I'm not sure if I would say the logic of that existence, but in any kind of, in any in any idea of that existence, could it be that this, in a way, to use it as an analogy, this spectrum kind of opens up in a way that a person can now perceive a lot more things than they were able to before. And that is one sense, that is the sense of um, light, that is the sense of being able to see through light. Could it be that there are other senses that might get the same type of, that might become visual in a way, that the way we see light, it is such a visual experience, but other senses might also become more visual and really sharp? Okay, that's another kind of an interesting idea to think of. And but it's it's such an interesting idea to be like, it would be so surprising if this afterlife or existence continued after a person's life. What kind of a moment would that be, that a person's life comes to a conclusion in this life, and then what kind of a moment would that be, that a person, is it similar to like waking up from a dream where where you are in this dream and everything makes sense to you in that dream, but then as surreal as it might be, um, but then you wake up and then you realize, oh, it was just a dream, and now I'm back in this life, and now I'm going to continue, and whatever that was, maybe, I don't know, um, it was just a small part, you could say. um, but so yeah, what kind of a moment would that be? What kind of a, would it create some kind of a shock to realize, if that would, what would be the meaning of this life, when once you notice that you are in the afterlife? What is the meaning of a dream once you wake up? It's not meaningless. I wouldn't say it's meaningless. For me, it isn't, because the kind of things you experience, the kind of surrealist, vivid, and incredible things that a person that I experience during dreams, it is something amazing. It is something that is very dear to me. And in that way, once a person is in that afterlife, how would the person think about their life before? What meaning would it have? Is it that this life would, they might perceive it as just a dream, or is it that there was some purpose to this existence, in a way that um, yeah, in some kind of a way there was a purpose, or was it some kind of a, just some kind of a, it's just something that happened? Is it that way, or is it, yeah? So it's interesting to think what kind of an effect you would have once a person exists in that existence, and could that existence relate to this life? Would, once a person is in that existence, does this reality exist for that person? So yeah, these were just a few thoughts that I was kind of thinking about right now. For some reason, I'm not being able to articulate it as properly as I could, but um, Another thing that I was thinking about is what was I going to say? There was something else. Uh, yeah, how once a person is in that afterlife, what is now the context of that person's existence? Is it that this afterlife is now in some, is it eternal? Is it that it is now another thing that happened? Or is it that there is another type of existence after it? Or is it a higher existence in a way that that is now maybe more, maybe a much higher way of existing, in a way that that existence does not have to be, a person does not leave that existence. But yeah, that's the the way this kind of connects with what I was previously saying, is there is all this possibility that a person might experience. There's this vast array of possibilities, and is it that in this new plane of existence there's now such a huge amount of possibilities that it, in a way, it just is, in a way that, yeah. And yeah, one of the things that I really um, kind of thought is a beautiful idea is of all the people that you never met, all the people that you met but maybe um, got disconnected from, where it should not have happened. I mean, this is not to think that if a person in was in your life and now isn't, then you should just hope that there might be some kind of an afterlife. No, you should reconnect with all the people that maybe you're not now connected with. But in a way, if there's anything else, wouldn't that be a beautiful thing, that there were all these possibilities and there were all these people, and now in some kind of an in this new metaphysical reality, now you are connected with them again. I think that's a beautiful concept to think about, but maybe we shouldn't be sure of that, and form our connections to the best extent that we can in this life. And yeah, the people that we hold, the people that we see, we like, we think they are wonderful people, beautiful people, people that make us feel more human, people that make us feel great emotions, and people that make life so much more beautiful. I think we should hold these people very close to us and not let them go. And yeah, that's kind of a different thought, but um, yeah, so I think that's just a few thoughts that I kind of wanted to talk about in this video. So if you have any of your own thoughts on this idea of afterlife and what kind of things might exist if in whatever sense that this reality could exist. So if you have any of your own thoughts on this, let me know. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video. And yeah, hopefully this was an interesting video. Like I said, I couldn't really articulate what I meant to what I'm trying to express in this video. I don't know, I guess. I don't know what yeah, so yeah, hopefully this was interesting in some way. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next video.